Geneva houses one of the most discreet and sophisticated industrial processes in the contemporary world. In workshops shielded from direct light and external movement, craftsmen and engineers work under conditions that demand years of training, extreme patience and technical mastery transmitted through generations. The result of this method is not a product for immediate consumption, but a mechanical instrument designed to endure decades, eventually centuries, without losing precision or relevance. Patek Philippe represents the highest point of this tradition. Since its foundation, the manufacturer has maintained processes that challenge the logic of modern industrial production. The gold used in its timepieces is not chosen merely for symbolic value, but for specific technical properties that directly influence durability, weight, and resistance to oxidation. The process of transforming this noble metal into a watch case involves stages that may seem excessive to those accustomed to the speed of contemporary manufacturing. Yet each of these stages exists for a functional reason, not a decorative one. What happens inside these workshops is not widely publicized, not through commercial secrecy, but because the manufacturer considers that true value lies in execution, not promotion. The philosophy guiding production at Patek Philippe begins with a clear principle. No timepiece is manufactured for its first owner. Each piece is conceived to be inherited, repaired, and kept in working order for future generations. This completely redefines the concept of luxury. It is not about temporary ostentation, but functional durability. The gold selected undergoes rigorous purity analysis. The alloy used is not pure gold, as that would be excessively malleable to withstand daily use. The manufacturer works with 18-karat gold combined with other metals in calculated proportions to guarantee mechanical resistance without compromising characteristic coloring. This gold arrives at the workshop in certified bars, accompanied by documentation tracing origin and chemical composition. Before any machining, the material undergoes controlled heat treatment, which adjusts its crystalline structure and facilitates the work of ultra-high precision machinery. The transformation of the gold bar into a watch case begins in specially calibrated CNC machining centers. These machines operate with tolerances of mere micrometers, ensuring that each curve, each angle, and each fitting remain within standards that permit no margin for error. The process is slow. A single case may spend hours being worked, with frequent human intervention for verification and adjustment. Cutting speed is deliberately reduced, for gold, despite its nobility, is a material that reacts to heat and pressure in particular ways. Any haste generates microscopic imperfections that would compromise both durability and aesthetics of the piece. Throughout machining, specialized technicians monitor each stage. Total automation does not exist. The machine executes, but control remains human. This combination of mechanical precision and artisanal judgment defines the quality standard that distinguishes haute horlogerie from any other form of manufacturing. Once the case gains its basic form, the process of manual finishing begins. Here, the craftsman's technique and experience become absolutely central. Surfaces are polished by hand with specific tools, some of them made to measure for particular angles. The polishing is not uniform. Different areas of the case receive distinct finishes. Mirror surfaces, brushed areas, and beveled edges require completely different techniques. An experienced craftsman recognizes, through touch and light reflection, when a surface is ready. This judgment cannot be automated. Each movement of the tool leaves marks invisible to the naked eye, yet perceptible under magnification. Patek Philippe requires these marks to follow strict standards of direction and depth. The time invested in this phase is frequently underestimated by external observers. A single case may spend days under the work of a single professional before being considered ready to receive the mechanical movement. This patience reflects a long-term vision. There is no haste because the result must last decades. The environment where this work occurs is meticulously controlled. Temperature fluctuations affect metal expansion, humidity influences adhesion of lubricants, and even air pressure can impact precision measurements. Workshops maintain atmospheric conditions within narrow parameters throughout the year. Lighting is equally critical. Natural daylight would introduce variables, so artificial illumination, calibrated to specific color temperatures, ensures that craftsmen perceive surface imperfections consistently. The workbenches themselves are engineered to absorb vibration, preventing external tremors from affecting delicate operations. These invisible investments in infrastructure reveal a manufacturing philosophy where nothing is left to chance. Every variable that could compromise quality is identified, measured, and controlled. The mechanical movement is the true heart of the timepiece, and its assembly represents the most complex point of the entire process. Hundreds of minuscule components, many measuring fractions of a millimeter, are assembled by hand under magnifying lenses. Each gear, each synthetic ruby, used as a bearing, each screw and each metal bridge must be positioned with absolute precision. A haute horlogerie mechanical movement does not function by chance. It is the result of mathematical calculations applied to physical components that must interact without excessive friction, without gaps and without unwanted vibrations. The watchmaker performing this assembly has spent years in training. It is not merely manual skill, but profound understanding of physics, engineering, and materials. Each movement is tested individually before being considered functional. The manufacturer subjects the mechanism to temperature variations, different positions, and prolonged operating cycles to ensure it will maintain precision over time. This quality control is not an isolated stage, but a continuous process that permeates all production. The union of the gold case with the mechanical movement is a delicate operation. The fitting must be perfect without gaps, yet also without excessive pressure that might damage internal components. Seals are installed to protect the mechanism from dust and moisture, though many models are not designed for submersion. The caseback, frequently in sapphire crystal, permits visualization of the movement in operation. This transparency is not accidental. Patek Philippe considers that the owner should have visual access to the internal complexity of their instrument. Each timepiece undergoes final tests that simulate years of use. Chronometry in different positions, exposure to magnetic fields, verification of power reserve, and precision analysis over consecutive days are mandatory procedures. Only when all parameters are within established specifications is the timepiece considered ready for delivery. The time invested in a single Patek Philippe gold timepiece is significantly greater than most people would imagine. It is not a matter of hours or days, but weeks, eventually months, depending on movement complexity. This slow rhythm is not inefficiency, but conscious choice. The manufacturer understands that speed and excellence rarely coexist in processes demanding microscopic precision and constant human judgment. Each additional control stage, each manual revision, each fine adjustment adds time to the process, but also adds decades of service life to the final product. This simple mathematics challenges the logic of conventional industrial production, where the objective is always to reduce time and cost. In haute horlogerie, time is not cost but an ingredient of value. The slowness of the process communicates seriousness, respect for material, and commitment to durability. What distinguishes a timepiece such as this from any other mechanical object is the awareness that it was conceived to outlive its creator. Patek Philippe maintains restoration workshops that service pieces manufactured over a century ago. This is only possible because production methods have remained essentially unchanged, allowing contemporary technicians to understand and repair antique mechanisms. This commitment to technical continuity is rare in any industry. True luxury lies not in price, but in the implicit guarantee that the object will traverse generations without losing function or relevance. It is a form of manufacturing that resists planned obsolescence and the logic of disposability. The gold selected does not rust, the mechanical movement does not depend on batteries or circuits that will become obsolete, and the production method ensures that any part can be repaired or replaced decades after original manufacture. The tradition of Swiss haute horlogerie does not conclude with Patek Philippe. Other historic manufacturers follow similar philosophies, though each with particular approaches. Vacheron Constantin, for instance, represents an equally ancient and respected lineage with methods that both dialogue with and contrast against what has been presented here. Understanding these subtle differences is to understand diversity within excellence.